Hello there, it is Janet Clark with the Freedom Shift back with you this week on Janet Talks Business TV, and we are furthering our discussion about selling. So how did you do last week? I suggested that you focus on improving your listening skills. So if you are listening to this call and you missed last week's video, the link is right below this video. You should stop right now and go and watch that one before you come back to this one. Okay, so let's get further into our discussion about selling from the heart, which is the process where we are going to shift our mindset into the way that we look at the sales process. And also we want to shift our behavior around how we approach our prospects. So when I first started in my coaching business, I made a fundamental problem, a mistake. And that was that I spent a lot of time designing my programs and figuring out the components of my offer. And then I wrote them all out, all the features and all the benefits of doing my program. And then when I talked to people, I started telling them all about the features and the benefits that my program would give for them. And it seemed like it was just the logical thing to do. And if somebody said to me, I need help launching my business, then I would launch into telling them exactly how I could help them to launch their business. Now, that really wasn't the point at all, because people have a lot of options when it comes to launching a new business. And there are coaches everywhere. They're all over the internet. And there are all kinds of free training programs and webinars and various ways that people can go about getting help to launch a business. So, what were these people really looking for? Well, they were looking for help to think through this idea that they had about starting a business. They were looking for somebody to validate them and to help them to create a strategy for how they could actually make it happen. They were trying to figure out whether they should hire a coach at all, and if they should hire a coach, what kind of a coach they needed. They were trying to figure out if they could even succeed as an entrepreneur. They didn't know what they didn't know, so they were totally asking about help with, I don't even know how to run a business. And really, they were asking for help to believe in themselves. And maybe they were looking for some help to overcome the resistance that they were getting from their family. Or maybe they needed help to get over the overwhelm or the procrastination that was in their way. See what I mean? It really had nothing to do with the steps that they needed help with in launching a business. And so my program is very step-by-step and detail-oriented. So I think that by explaining to them the process that I would take them through, that would sell them on working with me. But that isn't really what they were looking for, okay? They were looking for the results that I could offer them to solve the questions that were in their mind. So now that I understand this, I can really get on a phone call with somebody and be helpful. So let me ask you, how did you do on your phone calls last week where you were trying to find out exactly what was on people's minds? Did you find out what those prospects really need? What's in their way? And what is going to help them to get unstuck? If you did uncover those things, then you are ready to move on to the next step, which is to provide them with some feedback. If you didn't do a good job with that, then I can help you further if you feel like you're stuck on that, or you can just go back and revisit those people and get more information. because it really is important for you to find out where they are coming from, what's going on with them. So you have probably set up another appointment with them for this week, which was the idea. So just use this call this week to either provide feedback that I'm going to tell you how to do, or to get more information if you didn't ask enough questions. Okay, so here is this week's challenge. Now I'm going to ask you to look at the information that they provided you and to come up with 3 solutions for them. 3 totally different options. One of them would be that they could do nothing, or they could keep doing what they're already doing. The second option might be that they could use something less than what you have to offer or different. So some other program that they may be looking at or that you may even know about. And third would be obviously to work with you. Now, you are going to write down those 3 options, and then you are going to write down the expected results that they would get if they used each one of those options. So if it's option number 1, if they keep doing what they're already doing, then the expected result is the same as what they're getting right now. So we all know if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same result. The number 2 option would be doing a different program. And let's talk about the weight loss thing and maybe, kind of tie that one in. So let's say, for example, that they could join Weight Watchers. And if they do that, they will lose some weight and they will spend some money, but they really won't get the transformation and the mindset shifts that are going to help them to take their life to a new level of being happy, joyous, and free. Okay, so that may be the number 2 result. Now you would put down the result that they would get with working with you and say that that means that they would get a total shift in their happiness, their body image, their relationships, and their overall satisfaction with life, or whatever it is that you claim you're going to be able to give them, the results they can expect from working with you. Okay, so you get what I mean, right? Now I'm making the focus on the results here, and I'm asking you to focus on those results, not the process that you're going to use to get them there. And it's important to tie the results back to what they told you they want and what they really need and want in there as a result of deciding to invest in a program. Okay, then you can get on the phone and you can have the dialogue with them. Don't give them any details of your program. Don't tell them how you do what you do. Just tell them the options that they have and the results that they could expect if they took option 1, 2, or 3. And then ask them what they think about that. This is where they are going to come up with the objections. Okay, so this is where you can say something to them like, what results do you want? And what would get in the way of you actually moving forward with that program that would get you those results? And then you're going to start hearing what's in the way. So let's say that for the purpose of this program, we're not going to address any of the objections. So it doesn't matter what they tell you is in the way. You just acknowledge that and write it down. And ask them if once they tell you that, say, is that all? Is there any other thing that you might be thinking about that would get in the way of you moving forward? So it's really important that you completely understand their concerns and let them talk. Your goal here is to find out every objection that could possibly get in the way and then dig even deeper to find out if there's more. So for example, say that they say to you, I just don't have the money to spend on any program. You might say something like this. Well, if the price were right, is there anything else that would stop you? And or you might say, well, what is the price point that you would think would make it worth your while to get these expected results? And it's good for you to have all of this information that you can possibly have. Ask them questions to figure out what's really going to get in the way and what's really going to stop them. And don't do it from the point of view that, oh, I have to overcome this. Do it from the point of view of, I really want to understand why you can't move forward and get the help that you need. What is really in the way? Because when you truly know what it is that's stopping them or that's going to prevent them from taking the next step to resolve their issue, then you can work with them on that particular one thing and how to resolve that. But don't try to do it on this call. Just tell them that you are going to spend a little time and become creative trying to come up with some solutions and ways to help them, and that you will then get back to them. And again, it's okay to leave them hanging because they will have much more anticipation to talk to you next week because they'll be anxious to see what you come up with, and they will appreciate that you're actually spending time to help them. So next week, I am going to address with you how to overcome those objections. So until then, email me if you have any questions. As a matter of fact, I'd love to see the objections that come up. So just email them to me, and I'll be able to personally address specific objections when we're on the call when I do the video blog next week. So email them to me at janet@thefreedomshift.com, or just send me an email and request a chat. And until next week, I'm sending you lots of light and love. All right, talk to you then. Bye.